man who spends about 20 months as the assistant coach of Jose Santos Parceiro, the man who was a former Nigerian international, the man also who volunteered to stay in the African Cup of Nations as the standing coach till we got it to the finals, and the man who played 2 friendlies as an interim coach, the man who has actually make a win and also a draw in his last game, the judge, a member of the golden generation of the 1994 African Cup of Nations tournament in Tunisia, as a major, the man of the moment in the Nigerian Super Eagles camp. He is now the head coach, and I'm talking about none other than Finidi George, the man who is the present coach of Eyimba of Aba, and he is now the new crowned king of the Super Eagles coaching badge. How will that pan out for other men who were listed among these shortlisted this job? Talking about Emmanuel Minike and the likes of them. Yes, this time around the technical committee have said an African and a Nigerian born will need to cheer is none other than the man who has given them a result as an interim coach and as an assistant coach who has learned from Jose Parceiro, the former coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles. Welcome to the Nigerian Super Eagles of Finidi Georgia as a full-time coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles. And also welcome to P&B Sport today's beautiful Tuesday morning. It is your number one sporting program on your number one television, Politics and Business TV, and my name is Ridon Musaga or RMG. Don't forget that you can stream us live and direct on YouTube and on our Facebook channels, where you can reach us on Facebook at Politics and Business Television, and on YouTube we are live there at Politics and Business TV.English. Just go out there, click on the subscribe button, and then you get all the programs from Politics and Business TV. We'll be right back for more on the program. Alright, yes, welcome back. Now let's quickly maintain the shows of the local league as the boss the board of the Nigerian National League NNL has announced that the Enugu host will host the Super 8 from May 23 to 30th. Making the announcement on Monday, chairman of the league management, Mr. George Alo, said that the league board is happy to home off will play is Super 8 and express appreciation to Enugu State Governor Peter Mba and the Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development, Barrister Lloyd Ekuremaru, for accepting to host the championship this year. According to him, the statement of the government is equally promised that the logistics needed for a successful and memorable competition will be put in place before the commencement of the competition, and things are already set in place for the Super 8 to the home of Nigerian football. According to them, he says, and I quote, "We are the NNL are grateful to the governor and the Commissioner of Sport of Enugu State for this kind gesture, and we promise all participating teams that they will be treated to the best of hospitality in the cold city. It is noted for as the governor has equally promised to make all logistics available for each free championship." Now, the Super 8 is organized annually at the end of the league to determine the overall champion of the second tier league, as well as teams that will gain promotion to the Elite League, which is the NPFL. And some of the teams that have already qualified for the championship include Nasarawa United, Sporting Supreme, and Abuja, and also Sokoto United. congratulations to them, and we wait for others who will join the party. Alright, now let's go straight to the signing of the Nigerian Super Eagles head coach. The board of the NFF on Monday approved the recommendation of its technical and development committee to appoint former ace winger Finidi Georgia as a head coach of the senior men national football team, the Nigerian Super Eagles. Georgia, who spent 20 months as assistant to Jose Pesero before the Portuguese voluntarily left the post following accomplishment of the African Cup of Nations runners-up position at Cote d'Ivoire 2023. He took charge of the squad in an interim capacity during the 2 friendly matches in Morocco last month. He scored edged Ghana 2-1, and the first match ended in a 10-year winless streak against the Black Stars, but then lost 2-0 to Mali in the second game. George, a member of the so-starred Golden Generation that won the 1994 African Cup of Nations tournament in Tunisia and marked the second most entertaining team in Nigerians debut at the FIFA World Cup finals in USA. The same year, won at 92 Cup, 94, and also 98 FIFA World Cup. He was present. He also won the gold and silver, bronze and medals of 92, 94, 2000 and 2002 AFCON tournament. The 52-year-old former Ajax Amsterdam and Real Betis forward who made a scoring debut for Fatherland in African Cup of Nations qualifying match against Burkina Faso at the National Stadium in Lagos on the 27th of July 1991. Also featured for Calabar Rovers and Shark FC in domestic scene before heading to Europe. He assisted Rashidi Yekini of blessed memory to score Nigeria's first ever FIFA World Cup goal against Bulgaria in Dallas in the USA on 19th of June 1994. Georgia actually scored the goal that took Nigeria to the FIFA World Cup debut when he put Nigeria ahead against Algeria in a crucial qualifiers in Algiers on the 8th of October 93. The match eventually ended 1-1 and gave Nigeria a ticket to the finals in America. George's immediate task will be to guide the Super Eagles to victory in two FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against South Africa and Benin Republic in Uyo and Abidjan respectively in a little over 5 weeks. The match are must-win encounters for the Nigerian Super Eagles, with the Super Eagles lagging behind in 3rd place in Group C. The African campaign behind Rwanda and South Africa. Alright, talking about the signing of Finidi Georgia this time around, we'll still maintain the shows where the contract is yet to be reviewed, or the details of the contract is yet to be reviewed by the appointment of the former Super Eagles winger Finidi George before he was announced as the substantive Super Eagles head coach. Now reports coming in is that Finidi George, who led the Super Eagles to 2 international friendly matches after the former coach Jose Pesero led it, made it look like the contract was not specified if he was going for a 4-year term or he was going for a 2-term. Jose Pesero, the man resumes immediately as announced with his team as the coach of Enyimba, becomes Nigeria's 44th Super Eagles coach and will be on the touchline in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying games in June when Nigeria face South Africa and Benin Republic. Now, speaking exclusively to newsmen, a top one of NFF official who requested anonymity said that the former Ajax Amsterdam winger will be invited for discussion on the amount he will be received as a head coach. Now, the selection of his backroom staff as well as the number of years he will be engaged is also a question to look at. Also, other conditions with terminating or extending the contract will topics of discussion when he comes to the meeting with his employers, and there's possibility that that meeting will happen later today or is probably ongoing in the glass house as announcement as of yesterday, and very soon he will be invited to Abuja to finalize the number of years of his contract, and the announcement will be paid by the NFF and members of coaching crew. Then other conditions leading to whether he will extend or terminate his contract will be topic of discussion when he comes, according to our source from the glass house. Wow! So much to talk about in this contract. I wish I had somebody to discuss this with, but probably we'll be looking at this as an open figure when we come next. But now let's go straight to Feka Full star Samuel Eto'o and the sport ministry could be sanctioned by FIFA as the soccer ruling body is preparing to throw out the indomitable Lions of Cameroon from taking part in the remaining 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying games. The president of the federation is not satisfied with the appointment of Marc Guehi as the coach of the national team, and is threatened to block his resumption. According to the update from Cameroon, now the former Barcelona striker is likely to refuse to send invite to players for the upcoming qualifying games. Cameroon will face Cape Verde and Angola in round 3, and also 4 of the qualifying games. The coach Marc Guehi is working his own on your own. According to the statement coming in, he says, "I can promise that it will send either to the appropriate person. I do not see Fecafoot taking on the heavy responsibility of having Cameroon emulated because it will not have a sent invite to the players. Events at Fecafoot can have the difference, but national interest must take precedence," and the technical advisor to the sport ministry says. The matches continues. It might that FIFA to suspend football activities in the country at any time, and that will be a very bad one for Samuel Eto'o and his country since the saga began. Let's go straight to the hosting of the 2023 African Cup of Nations, Ivory Coast, as they have offered to assist one of the host countries of the 2027 AFCON. The 2023 edition of the competition was adjudged as the best in the history of the biennial tournament. African Soccer Governing Body awarded Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda the hosting right of the 2027 edition. Now, Tanzanian Sport Minister last weekend approached the Ivorian Sport Ministry for assistance and also memorandum of understanding, which was signed as a memo to start up on the agreement. It is essential to collaborate with nations that share similar challenges and aspirations. Learning from our peers allows us to adapt the best practices in more effective and relevant ways. Tanzanian Deputy Minister of Sport, Hamis Minjuma, making a statement there. That's the man sitting in the right-hand flank, and also making their signings of memorandum in that deal. Let's quickly go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at the Champions League. Hurricane facing Jude Bellingham in the Champions League final games, the second leg games of Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. We'll be right back. Alright, yes, welcome back. Just like I told you, we'll be talking more on the Nigerian Football Federation saga, the employment of the man, talking about Finidi George, and also the contract basis. What should we expect from the contract, and then why has this announcement been made without price tag, without contract jurisdictions and the likes of them? We'll be looking at that by tomorrow with sports analysts and also a specialist in the NFF boardroom, and then we'll come back to talk about the negative aspect of this signing or this announcement and the positivity of this announcement. Now let's go straight to Europe. We'll start up with tennis, where Rafael Nadal is into the last 16 of the Madrid Open after a hard-fought victory over Argentine's Pedro Chachin. Now the Spaniard, who is just 37 years old, came through 6-1, 6-7, 5-7, 6-3 after 3 hours and 6 minutes on court. A 5-time champion, Nadal is playing on the Madrid clay for the final time in what he expects to be his last of his career. And Nadal will play 30th seed Giro Lehec Rijeka of the Czech Republic on Tuesday later today for a place in the quarterfinals. But Great Britain's Cameroon Nori is out after losing 5th seed Kasper Ruud in a straight set. The Norwegian, who won in the Barcelona Open last week, triumphed 6-2, 6-4 and will face Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime in the next round after being broken in his first service game of the match and going on to lose the first set. Now Nori went to break up to the Nigerian to the team in the second place, and however Ruud make it 3-3 with a clincher victory. Italian top sport Yannick Sinner remain on course for his fourth title of the 2024 after he saw off Russian's Pavel Kotov 6-2, 7-5. And there was a 5 consecutive breaker of serve in the first set before Sinner eventually held to go 5-2 up. Another breaker secured a set, but the Australian Open champion, who has only lost twice this year, was under pressure in the second. And Kotov had the chance to force a decided set as he served a 5-4 up in the second, but Sinner broke him twice in a row to advance. Third seed Daniil Medvedev also progressed after coming from a set down to beat American Sebastian Korda 5-7, 7-6, 7-4, 6-3 in that tennis encounter. Now let's leave the shows off tennis. I will come back straight to football, and this time around we were glancing straight to the championship. We had the blue side who won it once time back again, talking about Leicester City, as their captain Jamie Vardy continues to stay put and promoted to the Premier League again. The 7-year-old former England striker, whose goals previously fired the Fox to a Premier League title and an FA Cup glory, added to his reputation as a Leicester City legend to a goal in each half to take his season tally to 20 in all competition. Casey McCarthy added a third to close the range ahead for a completely dominance. Leicester City are now promoted to the English Premier League. Burnley and Norwich are also yet to be let known, but Leicester City are the champions of this team. Leicester City can now equal a 104-year record of most second division wins set by Tottenham in 1919 to 1920 with the 32 wins and the 31 wins the Fox the Fox already have equaled the club record, matching the side that went up a decade ago. A victory would also see Leicester City become the first club to the flight by Fox's boss Enzo Maresa, who was appointed after they dropped out of the Premier League, said going back as a title winner was a fantastic achievement after a tough, difficult and intense campaign. In the end, we did it when we have brought this club to where it deserves to be. He told newsmen out there in Leicester City after the game, and in this moment the relief is bigger, but now it is time to enjoy it. Congratulations to Leicester City in the championship finals. Talking about Abdul Fatahu, the man who has made numerous remarkable moments for Leicester City in their span out in the championship this season. He is coming to the Premier League. We hope to see more of that pace with him and Mohamed Kudus in West Ham and the others likes of the Ghanaian teams. Welcome to the English Premier League, Leicester City once again, the former champions of England, but right now they are back to square it off. Now let's go straight to Anfield, where Mohamed Salah was out of order for arguing with his Liverpool manager to the club on the touchline during Saturday's 2-2 draw at West Ham United. Says former Premier League striker Chris Sutton, Salah had been dropped for the game and clashed with his coach as he prepares to come in the 79th minute as a substitute. The draw leaves Liverpool, who are out of the Europa League, 5 points behind Premier League leaders Arsenal. And Sutton felt the incident did not reflect on the 31-year-old, who is the Reds' top scorer this season with 24 goals, but has not been at his best in recent games. I did not like it, but I think Mo Salah is the one who was out of order, according to Sutton. He continues to say that he is no different to any of his Liverpool teammates, and the truth is his form hasn't been good since he has come back from injury. It is nothing against Salah and the brilliant player he has been at Liverpool. He has been phenomenal, but I think there is a line, and unfortunately for him, he crossed that line. A club who is leaving Liverpool at the end of the season brought Salah to Anfield in June 2017, and he has consistently been one of his most influential players ever since he came in. But Sutton believes the club was well within his right to choose the first 11. He felt to give Liverpool the best chance of securing a victory. You can't live on the past, according to Sutton, and that is what had happened with Mohamed Salah. And realistically, what Sutton has said, it's something that also boils down to me and how it pans out for the Egyptian man who seems frustrated with something club said. And according to the man, he says that if he had spoken with newsmen immediately after the game, he would have spat out fire. Afterwards, Salah declined the interview to request saying, there is going to be fire today if I speak. Salah's contract runs out in the summer of 2025, and there has been speculation about his future, including talks of a possible move to Saudi Arabia following the incident. However, Liverpool stance has not changed. The Egyptian forward was not for sale prior to West Ham game and remains that case. Well, you never can tell how contracts are blanked out for some big players. We saw the likes of Firmino stretching out of Liverpool that way. Alright, England, they have no Premier League clubs left in the Champions League, but two of the country's biggest stars will go head to head for a place in the competition later tonight. As the Three Lion captain Harry Kane has been prolific for Bayern Munich, despite the German giant failing to win the German Bundesliga for the first time in 12 years. Jude Bellingham, meanwhile, has lights up the Bernabeu Real Madrid during his debut season at the Santiago Bernabeu. And England boss Gareth Southgate will no doubt be among the keenness welcome back. I was so sorry for the breaking transmission. We needed to take that breaker, and we are back now. The big question is, can Bellingham actually make an impact? Can he outdo Cristiano Ronaldo, as Bellingham had every top club fighting for his signature last summer after it became clear that one of the football leading's young talent would be on the move. The former Birmingham City player had started for Borussia Dortmund and the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United and Chelsea all reportedly went out for their way to convince Bellingham to join them. But the pool of Real Madrid proved too much for the Stuttgart-born midfielder, and he moved to Spain in an £89 million transfer. Now the big question is, will the night tonight be in favor of the Whites, the Madrid Stars, or will it be the Reds of Germany? Don't forget that this time around the game will be coming your way later tonight by 8 p.m. And that game is the second leg of the first fixture, which went in favor of Real Madrid against the German Bundesliga former giants, talking about Bayern Munich. Now let's leave that short. Let's go straight to the next story coming in. This time around we'll go straight to Old Trafford. Manchester United are willing to listen to offers for virtually all their first-team squad this summer, including Marcus Rashford, as Sam Ratcliffe looks to turn the club back into challengers for major honours. It is understood that Marcus Rashford is on the list also, although club sources are adamant that their preference is to keep the England striker and work with him to restore the form that brought him 30 goals for the first time last season. Paris St-Germain have previously been linked external with Rashford and are set to lose star man Kylian Mbappe, although sources in the past have distanced the Champions League semi-finalists from a move for the 26-year-old. However, manager Erik Ten Hag's regular starters youngster Ramos Højlund, Kobe Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho are thought to be exempted from the list. It would take a major offer before Man United would even consider selling skipper Bruno Fernandes, goalkeeper Andres Onana and fullback Diego Dalot, who signed a 5-year deal less than 12 months ago. It is likely that they will have to either finish 6th in the English Premier League this season or beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final to qualify for the Europa League. They are currently 6th and 1 point ahead of Newcastle, who they play at Old Trafford on the 15th of May. And it means that they will also look to maximize their fees to generate in the transfer markets. Now talking about transfer market, now let's go straight to the gossip in the transfer windows. As we see, Liverpool are fully expecting Mohamed Salah to stay this summer and are planning on their basis of the 31-year-old Egyptian striker being part of their squad next season. Also, reports coming in is that Liverpool sporting director incoming Richard Hughes will lead talks over a new contract for Salah, whose contract deal runs on to 2025. Marcus Rashford might find his options limited if he chooses to leave Manchester United, with Paris Saint-Germain cooling their interest in the 26-year-old England forward. Now, Crystal Palace 55-rated England defender Marc Guehi is interested to Liverpool as they seek a replacement for Cameroonian defender Joel Matip, who is set to leave when his contract runs out this summer. Ajax are keen to reappoint Erik Ten Hag as their manager if he is being sacked by Manchester United this summer. West Ham United are interested in former Spain manager Joel Matip as being reignited after the lend AC Milan are wavering over whether to appoint him as a replacement for Stefano Pioli. And also the Hammers, that is West Ham United, are also keen to sign 25-year-old Coventry winger Colm O'Hare and Hull City 23-year-old English central back Jacob Graves. This summer, championship title winners Leicester City will be able to sign players during their summer transfer windows, despite being put under an embargo by the English Football League. However, the Foxes will have to sell players before 30th of June to avoid profit and sustainability rules charges next season, with 25-year-old English midfielder Kenneth Dewsbury attracting interest already from Brentford, Brighton, Wolverhampton, Manchester United, Arsenal and Liverpool. Manchester United are still planning to appoint Dan Ashworth as sporting director this summer, with the expectation that a deal over compensation with Newcastle will be agreed either sooner or later. An ex-England striker Jermaine Defoe might be set to land his first Nigerian role at holding talks with a former club, Sunderland. That is going to be a beautiful one for him. Well, let's quickly glance through result of matches that went down the Monday Night Football, starting up with the Spanish La Liga. Solid with the Italian Serie A's Genoa defeated Cagliari 3-0 at home, while Barcelona trashed Valencia 4-2 in a local derby in the Spanish La Liga last night, and also Preston lost to Leicester City 3-0, making them the champions of Championship, and they are now promoted to the English Premier League. Now tonight, like I told you, 8 p.m. at the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich will be slugging it out with Real Madrid in the Champions League. And later tomorrow, 7 p.m., Liverpool women will be slugging out with Chelsea women in the Women's Super League in the English League out there. And same time tomorrow, Paris St-Germain out there. They'll be slugging it out in the black and yellow stadium out there in Germany. Talking about Borussia Dortmund versus Paris Saint-Germain. PSG are up front already. Also on Thursday in the Europa League, we'll be seeing Chelsea taking on Tottenham Hotspur on Thursday Night Football in the English Premier League by 7:30, and Marseille will take on Atlanta in the Europa League, while Roma will take on Bayer Leverkusen 8 p.m. and also Aston Villa will take on Olympiacos in the Europa Conference League, with Fiorentina taking on Club Brugge. These matches will be coming away 8 p.m. simultaneously from a different venue, one at the Villa Park and the other at the Club de Brugge Stadia out there in Club Brugge. Well, this is the size of the package this beautiful morning. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for another exciting moment to offer your one and only program of PNB Sports. My name is Rudolf Musago, RMG, and I'm saying do enjoy the moment. Bye for now.